you need inspiration, motivation, or hope? Do you let fear hold you back? Sometimes you feel lost or just stuck in your own thoughts, and you want a clear path to give you results. Then, my friend, you are in the right place. My name is Rachel Best, and I am your host of How to Make a Mark in the World, Finding Your Signature. Go ahead and grab a pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes.
Good afternoon. How is everybody? So today we have a special guest, Jose Escobar. So I met him a few months back through a mutual friend, and over the last several months, I've gotten to know Jose, and he has an amazing group. I'm sure he's going to tell you guys about it here in a little bit, but I just know that he's going to share some amazing nuggets with you guys. He is an amazing leader. He's a business guy, and he just loves to collaborate and just help rise people up. So that is why he's on today, because he's such an inspiration. And Jose, share with us who you are and how you are making a mark in the world.
Sure. Rachel, thank you so much for having me here today. I am honored to be on your show. I think the world of you. I think you're an amazing go-getter. You have a heart of gold, and you definitely are looking to rise to the very top, right? You're doing some amazing things, and just honored to be connected to you and to rise up together, as I always say, right? So in terms of myself, my name is Jose Escobar. I live in Washington, D.C. area, DMV, D.C., Maryland, Virginia. Essentially Maryland, but I was born in DC. I have a martial arts background as well, which is fun, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai kickboxing. I also happily married to my wife, Katie, and we have 5 wonderful children, 16 years old down to 11 months, and then 6, 4, 2, 2 boys on either end, 3 girls in the middle. And then we, let's see here, career-wise, before I became a full-time entrepreneur, I was in the banking world, for PNC Bank, Capital One, did life insurance for a little while. Then I got into property and casualty, Liberty Mutual, and State Farm. And eventually I started working for a global martial arts company called EFC out of Chevy Chase, Maryland. And that took off, and I got promoted very quickly to sales director for the US territory. And that was an awesome job. And eventually I transitioned into being a full-time entrepreneur. My wife was a teacher for many years, and she left her career. Now she's a stay-at-home mom, homeschooler. And I ended up being a full-time entrepreneur as of January 1st of this year. So both of us left our jobs in 2022. And now, so I launched 2 businesses of my own, the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf and the Connected Leaders Academy. The Entrepreneur's Bookshelf is my coaching, author, speaker leg. So I am a high-ticket coach. I have multiple high-ticket programs. I also am an author. I have this book here called Winning the Day, An Entrepreneur's Guide to Morning and Evening Routine Mastery. That's right. That's it. And I co-authored 7 other books. So I'm an 8-time published author. And then I also am a paid speaker. So I travel the country. I'm speaking all the time at different stages. I'm starting to go into the international circuit as well. I'll be speaking in Romania in 2 weeks. That's pretty exciting. And so that's the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. The Connected Leaders Academy is a subscription-based model, a membership for entrepreneurs. We're essentially trying to put the highest of the high, the best of the best, high performers, titans of industry under one roof, one umbrella. We're now at 325 members in 40 states across the U.S. and 17 international countries. And then I also have my branded merchandise line of t-shirts, hoodies, hats, journals, coffee mugs, you name it. I host live events as well. I'm in the event space. We have a big event coming up in October called the CLA Global Summit in Maryland at the Gaylord National Harbor. And lastly, I also have more of a high-ticket mastermind where I bring in some folks there. And that's kind of a project that has been rolling out kind of like under wraps little by little. So we're not going to dive deep into that, but I'm in that space as well. And that's me in a nutshell.
Oh, well, that's a big nutshell. That's a lot. That's amazing. So you can see why he's on my show today, because he's so passionate. He's driven. He's also a go-getter, and he's moving mountains in the world, and he is making impact. That's amazing. 40 states in America. And how many countries did you say? 17?
17. Yep.
Wow. Like, that is making an impact. And I know just the short time that I've been in the CLA, like I have met some amazing people. I've learned some amazing things, and it's been really, really good. So I'm definitely grateful for that. And tell us, you have so much to unpack there, and just share with us, as you were leaving or as you were building your business and your businesses to get you to where you're at now. Just share with us what kind of were the steps that led you to here today, leaving your job, having two businesses, and doing all the things? What kind of led you to this moment?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what I realized is when I was in the corporate arena working for all these great companies, I was over delivering. I was creating massive impact for these companies. I've produced over $30 million in revenue for these companies that I served for many years. I've impacted the companies on very high levels. And I realized I was like a master salesperson, right? I was just really good at sales. I've been in sales for over 24 years. And I realized that you know what, like, there has to be a way for me to do something with this for myself, right? Because I'm helping all these other companies, make tons of revenue. And then I got into the martial arts space, and I was helping martial arts school owners. I was coaching them. Essentially, I was a business consultant, giving them the A to Z on how to run an academy and a dojo. And I was helping martial arts school owners become wealthy, make millions, right? Because I was helping them go from 20,000 to 30,000, 50,000, just to increase their monthly revenue. And then it hit me after a while. I was like, you know what? If you don't do something, there was a mentor of mine once said, if you don't do something to create your own dreams, then other people are going to hire you to build theirs. Mm-hmm. Right. And every business has room for one dream. And if you don't own it, it's not yours. Right. So I realized that early on. And I said, eventually, I need to have something for myself. I need to make millions myself and create an impact for the world and serve at a higher level. Right. So I had a great conversation. I say great because it was a paradigm shifting conversation. January 15th of 2022, my wife sat me down, right? And prior to that, the 5 years prior to that conversation, Rachel, I invested easily, I would say close to $100,000, if not more, on personal development. Wow. I'm talking about coaches, paid mentors, masterminds, high-end masterminds, boot camps, summits, conventions, seminars, courses, programs, let's see, books, you name it. I've been, spending so much money trying to be better for some time. And then my wife sat me down, and I had an LLC. I had an LLC for 3 years since 2019. I'm like walking around like I'm a business owner, right, on the side, but I had no money in my accounts, right? So I said to my wife sat me down and she said, Jose, we need to talk. I said, sure. And she said all these nice things, the sandwich method. You're amazing. You're a visionary. You're a dreamer. You're a go-getter. I love you. You're inspiring the family. You're a leader. You're doing all these great things. I love it. And the fact that you invest in yourself and you have high standards and you're all about becoming better and being your best self, wonderful. But ... And I was like, oh dear. And she said, but at some point you have to start making money in your business. And that hurt. It stung. It was a bitter pill to swallow. I took it. I listened to her. I walked out and took a walk, had a cigar, took a day to myself of reflection, and I realized she's so right. As much as it bothered me and as much as it hurt my ego and my pride, right? Because we all have a healthy ego and healthy, intact ego, right? I said, man, that sucks. And then I committed. I didn't decide. I committed that I was going to pull the trigger on what I already know to launch some businesses. And that day, the next day, I basically launched, right? I said, I'm going to launch my businesses that I've been kind of planning for. And that was the beginning of the change. And I just executed, took massive action. And then here we are. In 15 months, Rachel, I went from no business at all to having two businesses with 8 income streams and 7 figures.
Oh my God.
The detail there, the cooler part about that for me is not so much how much money I made or how fast I did it. It's the fact that I did it organically, right? With my own organic methods. I had no website. I had no fancy funnels or automation of any kind, 0 paid ads, 0 marketing budget, and no email marketing campaigns or email lists. It was 100% organic growth from 0 to where I am now. And we're just getting started.
That's amazing. And that's so inspiring. So I kind of want to stop on that right there because I know that speaks to me even, of like we think that to be successful to have a business, we have to have all of those things in place. And what it really is the commitment and the action and just start doing it. And so with that being said, can you share with us what are some of the things, what are some of the steps, what are some of the obstacles that you've had to like maneuver around to get you to where you're at now?
Well, for sure, as you know, I'm a family man. So for me, I always work my daily schedule, I guess you could say. God first, family second, and then business, right? And I found that historically, I've seen many people who put business first and then whatever is left over. So the reality, actually putting my family first and God first, helps me to show up the way I need to show up in business. And that's kind of where I'm at. So for me, it's an obstacle because it genuinely takes time, is family, right? So as much as we love family, it can be an obstacle with time in terms of what I should be putting into my business. But if you understand the value of giving the family the appropriate time and also involving your family on the goals and the vision and the mission of what you're doing, then it becomes better, and it becomes you get more momentum that way. So for me, it's always been a challenge of the balance, right? And we've heard so many times, oh my gosh, the work-life balance, right? So to an extent, that doesn't really exist, in my opinion. To an extent, you do your best with what you got where you are. And I just heard a great soon-to-be mentor that will be coaching me that I'm going to be hiring on board to help me. And his name is Andy Elliott. I just met him in El Paso, Texas, a couple of weeks ago. It was an event. And the guy is a genius. The guy is an awesome go-getter. He's crushing it in business. And he is my cup of tea. He's the guy who will like punch you in the gut and tell you, step up and do more, right? So that's what I need. I need somebody that kick me in the butt sometimes. So he said, Jose, you can have it all. You can have it all. You can have the healthy family. You can have the spiritual life. You can have the health. You can have the thriving business. You can have this. And so many people think that they can't do it all. Like, I can only do this, or I can only do that. But no, you can have it all. And that spoke to me because I want to have it all. And not just to have it all, because the more you have, the more you can give. Right? So, and so many people are giving on empty, with an empty tank. So many people are giving with their cup empty, right? And you can't pour out of an empty cup. So you have to fulfill you first. You have to put the best into you. That's why I'm a big proponent of morning, evening routine, because I pour into me. Self-care is self-love, and I pour into me every single day. And when I do that, it allows me to pour into others at a higher level. So that's what it's all about. My biggest obstacles has been managing, trying to balance everything at the same time with 5 kids and a wife. I want to be a good husband. I want to be a good father. That's a challenge when you're scaling multiple businesses. And then another thing has been health, right? I got to be healthy. And I found myself, if I'm not careful, I can gain 20 pounds in 3 months, right? And 30 pounds, and I'll feel like kind of out of shape. So I have to make sure I create the time, right? It's not finding time, because we don't find it. We create the time for what we find to be a priority.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. And something I heard one time is that in our brain, when we think of balance, we think that it has to be equal, because on a balance, it's equal. But if we shift that word to balance, take that word balance out and shift it into harmony. So then it's like this infinity. And so, because it can't ever be balanced, it can't ever be equal. So if you make it an infinity, a harmony of, and then that in your brain, it shifts your brain into thinking, oh, I have to have balance. We can't ever have balance. And so it just like releases that how your brain processes it. So
that's so good. That's so good. I love that analogy.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you. So So with all of the things that you're doing and with your family and finding that harmony in how you're doing everything, share with us a little bit. Like I have the winning day. I'm halfway through it. I was laying in bed reading it and I was like, oh, I have to go to bed. So I'm less than halfway done, or more than halfway done. I have less than halfway. And then also we have this. I don't know if you can see. There we go. The 90-day battle plan. So share with us a little bit about your bulletproof here. Like, this is amazing. I absolutely love it. Yes. Share with us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this came to me, the 90-day battle plan. It's the journey to self-mastery. It's like a journal planner. It has journal prompts in here. It has your calendar at a glance. Look. It has your day timer to where you can, from the beginning, from when you wake up all the way to the evening, what does your schedule look like? It has things like your top 3 business to-do list items, top 3 personal to-do list items. This morning I'm grateful for, so you fill that out. Who do I need to connect with today? So you put the names of all the people you need to reach out to in that particular day. Today's affirmations, top 3 wins for the day, evening routine. What were my top 3 challenges this evening I'm grateful for? It has all kinds of great things in here. The reason why I even created this is because I realized, remember, success begets success, right? So the more successful you are, the more successful you become, and the more things you feel you can do, because your confidence continues to grow. So initially, my thought was always like, let me just keep buying new planners and eventually I'll find a planner that works for me. And I realized that all the planners I've been buying like 2 planners a year for like a decade, right? Trying to find the right one. And I realized that all the planners I've used, they're all great in their own way, right? But they either have too much of things I don't need, that I never use, and it's just extra pages and extra things, or it's missing things that I need, that I really would like it to have. So I said, you know what, Jose, you're on a hot streak right now. You're writing books, you're doing this, you're doing that. Just create your own, right? And there's power of connection, because sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? They say your network is your net worth. So I said, who do I know that could help me put something together like this? Because on my own, I would not know how to put it together in a book, how to format it, how to sell it, so what I do, there's a co-author here named L.S. Kirkpatrick, right? She's in the CLA. She says right here, Jose Escobar and L.S. Kirkpatrick, right? See that? So she's a publisher, Writers to Readers Publishing Company. So I said to her, hey, and she did something very creative. She sent me a planner, her own planner. She had a planner that she sent me in the mail. I received it. She said, Jose, listen, your morning, evening routine mastery program, I think it kind of speaks to this planner I have here. And I just wanted to show you an example of what I'm capable of doing. So if you decide you want to put together a planner at some point to supplement your program, I would love to be a partner with you on that project. That is called being a winner. That's called being proactive. That's called positioning yourself to win. So what did I do? I looked at it. I said, I love it. This is amazing. And I said, I've been thinking about this myself. Why don't we collaborate on a book? And the fact that you have taken the initiative to show me something that you put together as an example of what I can do with you. So I created the inside of what it looks like, right? I created all this stuff, and she put it together. She got it formatted. She put it on Amazon. She did all the heavy lifting on the back technical side, and I did the inside. And then boom, project came together, and we've been selling them like hotcakes, and I'm excited. But again, that's what it takes. Sometimes you have to find your own path, right? Instead of just using something that exists, sometimes you have to create.
And I love that, because I've been the same boat. I'm like, I've had so many different planners, so many different things. And I'm like, like same thing. Like there's things that I'm not using. I'm like, this doesn't pertain to me. I don't like this. And so there's been a couple times I've sat down to like, okay, maybe I could, and then I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is being productive of my time. Maybe I should put this on the back burner for now. And when I got yours, I was like, and one thing I dislike about planners is there's never enough room to write. And so that's one thing about yours, is that there's enough room to write. And you even leave a page. And then I also love, what I love about this is your the morning and evening routine thing.
Yep.
I really love that, because I was like, oh my gosh, like this is like gold right here, because that's one thing that I had always contended with, is like, well, what should I be doing in the morning and what should I be doing in the evening? And you
Yeah.
gave examples of what your day looked like. I'm assuming it's your day. And
Yep.
so, like to, there's a couple things that, I copied off of there, but then also like I added some of my own things as well. So I definitely highly recommend getting this planner because it's a great planner. So I'm definitely grateful for you to just, I finally, that's why when I read your book and when I have the planner, I'm like, you know what, this guy, like he just, like, you're just so in alignment with all the things that like I just love doing and the same alignment. So that's what I love about just being in your circle and in your space is that you are just, you know what you're doing and you're a great guide and you are an amazing coach that just, you're just awesome. So with all of that, I would love for you to just share with us, what is next? What's next in business, in life, in family? What's next for you?
So there's a number of things that are next for me, but because I feel like we should never get complacent, right? Once you start getting comfortable, that's the beginning of the downfall, right? We have to live in our discomfort zone. Everything, as John Maxwell says, everything worthwhile is uphill all the way, right? So if you ever feel like you're coasting, you will soon be roasting, right? So it's just so I never want to coast. I never want to feel comfortable. For sure, I will never arrive, right? Because there's always room to be better and there's always a next level, right? So there has to be that mindset. So in terms of myself, there's going to be a couple other tiers. So tier 2 and tier 3 of the Connected Leaders Academy, which are going to be designed for different level of entrepreneurs who are doing different things. So that's a project that's underway. That's very, very exciting. I'm now offering master classes as well. I'm giving people only for Connected Leaders Academy members, I'm giving them some free value on some needle moving activities that they can implement into 5 pillars of success in their life, which I break down. And I actually have another masterclass coming up Wednesday this week. So that'll be on the 26th at 6 p.m. for CLA members only. And there's only 15 spots. So I'm going to be doing master classes. I'm going to be doing higher versions of the Connected Leaders Academy for folks who are looking to get to other levels in business. And then I'm also going to continue the event space. I'm going to continue to do regional events, like smaller scale, like 100 people in different parts of the country, promoting the Connected Leaders Academy and just finding hubs where we have a good number of members, like Texas, South Carolina, Florida, California, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. So there's different areas where we have a good number. Las Vegas, then Nevada, we have a number of members. So I'll be finding different places. We'll have about one event every quarter in different parts of the country for expansion and personal development, all those great things.
That's exciting.
And then of course I want to write another book. So I'm an 8-time published author. 7 of them are co-authored books. One of them is my own book, Winning the Day, right? And if you want to buy my book, Winning the Day, check out www.winningthedaybook.com. So winningthedaybook.com, that's where you can get it for cheaper than you would find it on Amazon. And I will sign it and personalize for you. So, but I'm also looking to write a second book, my own book. The one I wrote went bestseller. So I want to have the second one go international bestseller and just kind of take that and run with it. So that's kind of like the things that I'm working on at the moment.
That's awesome. Well, I am excited to see what your next book is and all the things that you're doing. And I go to Texas a lot, California, South Carolina, and Florida. So those are perfect spots. I'm there all the time. So So tell us how, if somebody wants to connect with you, tell us how can they connect with you?
So you can find me on Facebook. I live on Facebook. That's where I'm at pretty much all the time outside of my home here. Virtually, you will find me on Facebook. Now, I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram, but I don't really use those as often. So what you might find is that I might just copy something I did on Facebook and put it on Instagram as well. But I'm not really hanging out on Instagram. I'm really hanging out on Facebook. That's where I do more activity. That's where I connect with people in DMs all the time and that sort of thing. LinkedIn is, frankly, to be honest, outdated. I think I still have that. I work at Liberty Mutual. That was years. That was over a decade ago. So I still have that there. And I use it. I check it once a day. but I haven't taken the time to update it. So I will be updating it, and then I will use it as a new hub. But for now, if you want to find me, you want to connect with me, definitely find me on Facebook, Jose Escobar. Now, there's many Jose Escobar, so the easiest way to find me is just type in, the search bar when you're looking for somebody, put the @ symbol, JAESCO25. So JAESCO25. And then as soon as you click on that, you click on people, and I'll be the first person that you find there. So JAESCO25 on Facebook. You can also check out a website I have currently. It's called theentrepreneur'sbookshelf.com, which has a link to schedule a call with me. And then my email is JAESCO25, same thing, at gmail.com. So JAESCO25 at gmail.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And before we hop off of here, what are some closing thoughts and maybe a scripture or a quote or something to just inspire one last piece of wisdom to the audience?
So I will drop 3 pieces of advice that a mentor once told me that has truly inspired me and helped me through tough times in life and in business, right? Because there's 2 orders, right? So, and there's 10 life domains, and they're all interconnected, but that's a conversation for another day. So my mentor said to me, Jose, tip number 1 I'll give you is, in all things, give thanks. In all things, give thanks, because a lot of times you only give thanks when things are good. But a lot of times we need the challenges. We need the hurdles, the roadblocks, the brick walls that we run into. We need those things, right? So in all things, give thanks. Number 2 is, this too shall pass. So you have to know in your heart of hearts that this too shall pass, right? So get through it. Embrace the journey. Learn what you need to learn from certain experiences. And I'm never down, Rachel. I'm either up or I'm getting up, right? But I'm never down. So, because I understand this too shall pass. So this too shall pass. Doesn't matter how bad it is. And number 3 is, always be willing to ask for help. And so many people are not willing to ask for help because of ego and pride, or they think they know it all. And the minute you think you know it all is the minute you start learning. So none of us have arrived. None of us have it all figured out. We're all in this journey together, and there's always more learning, more growing, and more connecting that needs to happen. So my encouragement is, be willing to ask for help. And only when you ask for help can you improve, can you get better, can you pick other people's wisdom and run with it. And that's kind of where I would leave it. So those are 3 pieces of advice that have served me tremendously. And there's a quote that I don't know who said this quote, but there's a famous quote that I live by as well. And it is, commitment to continuity establishes emotional stability. So commitment to continuity establishes emotional stability. That means you have to be continually committed to a process in order for you to feel like you have the emotional stability, like this versus like this, to be able to. But so many of us are deciding to do something and not fully committed, and we're inconsistent. Deciding to do something means I can change my mind tomorrow. I can decide today I want to do something and decide I change my mind the next day. Inconsistency never equals the results that you want. So if you make a commitment and you are continual in that process, right, you will see results in life and in business, and that's what it's all about. So that quote speaks to me, and it serves me well.
Yeah, that's powerful, because that's powerful in so many ways, because like you said, the commitment, because you can decide, but you can decide not to do, right? Yep. So, but when you're committed, like that's really powerful. So I think I'm going to steal that from you. Write that one down. So Jose, I thank you so much for your time. You've given us so much to think about, so much inspiration, so many tips. And like I said, if you are not friends with this guy, you have to find him and just follow him, be in his circle, and just get a hold of him, because he is just a amazing person that you're just great. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, your friendship, and your knowledge. And we will talk to you guys all soon. See you later.
This is your host, Rachel Bess, and I hope you loved the show. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, as well as share with a friend. If you would like, you can follow me on Instagram as well as Facebook under Rachel Best. You can also find me on my website at rachelbestspeaks.com.